What is up, everybody? This is Eric, the one and only Bay Area Collector, and today I am doing my final video of 2023 and how to end this year with a bang, with a haul for December of 2023. But before I start, I'm hoping that all of you guys had happy holidays. Hope you guys celebrated with your family, your loved one, your friends, and you guys had a lot of fun. But, you know, the year's almost over, but what way to go than to celebrate and show you guys the haul that I got for December. As always, I always start with digital downloads, and this time around I bought a couple for the Nintendo Switch. And the first one that I bought is a game called Panda Punch. Now, this game is a 2D side-scrolling platformer. You start as a fox who has a robotic arm, and you use that robotic arm with different upgrades to defend, you know, from evil robots. The game seems to be very similar to a game that I love for the Nintendo called Rockin' Cats. That's the way it seemed when I saw the preview of the games in the eShop. So that's one that I'm really hoping to play soon. The next one was a 3-game set that I bought for really cheap, which are these 3 right here. But the first one is 9 Monkeys of Shaolin. This one is a beat 'em up style game where you are going out there to avenge your family, someone that killed your family, and you're out there to avenge them. The other one, this one right here, Redeemer Enhanced Edition, we're also taking revenge. It's also a beat 'em up. Very similar games and style, but this one's based in ancient China. This one seems to be a little bit more like Kratos style look in the game. You know, it's really hard because it didn't say much about it. And this final one is an interesting one. It's called Ash of God's Redemption. This one's a tactical RPG where whatever decisions you make in the storyline affect your future. You can even die in the game, but you still continue with the other NPC characters or whatever characters you have acquired and continue on with the story, albeit with whatever drastic changes that happen if you died. So that one's very interesting. Now, the next game is Day and Night. This one is a Tetris-like puzzle game where the day and night changes the way that you play the game. So it looked really fun. Similar to like Tetris, to Dr. Mario style gameplay. This next one right here is called Space Raiders in Space. A game that's very similar. If you guys ever played the arcade game Alien Syndrome from back in the days, you're basically trying to save yourself from an evil alien invasion right here. And then speaking of another alien invasion, we got Glitch's Trip, which is a 2D side-scrolling platformer action game where you're Glitch out to save your planet and save the moon from aliens sucking up the moon juice. They're doing like breweries in the moon, so you're trying to save the moon and the planet. And then finally, Blazing Beaks. That one is a roguelike dungeon crawler based game where you're like one of these feathered animals, like a duck that's out there to collect treasure and find out secrets from within. In every gameplay, it changes like every roguelike style game. So that one looked interesting. But yeah, those were my digital games of the month. Let me turn that off, put this aside. And now let's begin, because this month I actually thought I wasn't going to get a lot of games. I ended up getting a bunch of them, but I got really interesting and neat ones that I've been trying to get for a really long time. So the first game that I got is a game, I was supposed to get this one last month. However, because I ordered it from across the seas over in Europe, it didn't come in time. So it's one of the first games of the month, and that is Alex Kidd in Shinobi World for the Sega Master System. Game expensive to own, especially the US version of it. This is the PAL version. One of my all-time favorite Sega games. Of course, Alex Kidd. As you guys will see, I'm doing this thing for Alex Kidd that I'm doing full gameplays of the games. You know, so I'm going to try to do this one. one of my all-time games from the past that I love. So I won't go more into much detail of that one because I want to save it for a later video. Definitely, I am going to do a video on that one real soon. The next is a game that I've been trying to get for the Nintendo Switch called Crosscode. This one's actually an RPG from Inen. And you going through a journey, a style, I can't see the thing. Yeah, you're going through a journey, fantastic journey. What does it say? Can focus. Explore the loving design world of Crossworlds in a classic 16-bit look. So they don't say much about what the game's about, but it looks very... either it looks like I believe this one's going to be like I don't know if it's a Zelda style or a classical RPG style game. But I know that I forgot the story. Sorry, guys, because I looked this one up a while back. But it does have an interesting background to the story in the game. So, looking forward to play that one. The next one, of course, is another... It's a reproduction game, but one game that I really like when I had my SNES. And that's Tecmo Secret of the Stars. It's an RPG game that was made a long time ago. A very rare one. Of course, this is a repro, but this is actually a good reproduction. I recognized it in my Retron 5. So this is one that that I really had fun playing back in the day. So yeah, got that one. The next one is another reproduction because it's a game too expensive to own. Swamp Thing for the NES. This one is a very interesting one and one that I will be making a video of really soon. So, yeah, I'm giving you a little bit of spoilers. And, of course, this video not only is going to be about the haul that I got, but it's also going to be, you know, upcoming, letting you guys know what's up and coming. And one of the things that I will let you know is that right now is that I will be making a video of this one real soon. So, look out for this one. This is an interesting one. You know, reproduction, but still good. Now, these next two games, early in the month, there was a scuffle amongst when I purchased it because I wanted to get these games. And unfortunately, I didn't get the first part of this well, it's not a trilogy, it's a quadrilogy or a 4-part series. I already have the 4th one, but it's City of Valis and Valis 3 for the Genesis. Favorite games of mine from back in the days. One of my all-time favorite games. However, I was gonna get, well, I thought I was gonna buy Valis 1, 2, and 3. I had purchased, there was a big mix-up. I had bought Valis 3, came great, got it. I bought City of Valis in another bid. I won it, got it, but then the dude sent me Valis 3, and I'm like, you were supposed to send me you sent me the wrong game, so I sent it back. And in the meantime, for the City of Valis game, I was supposed to buy Valis, but instead they gave me City of Valis. So what I ended up doing is I ended up getting my my refund for the Valis, the one that I got the Valis 3 copy, and the other one didn't have it, so I got my refund back, and I got stuck with City of Valis, and well, I stayed with one of the City of Valises and Valis 3. So unfortunately, I didn't get the first one because it's a game. These are games to, well, not these but the part 1 is a game that's expensive to own. So unfortunately, maybe in the near future, I'll hopefully find it for a steal. But these I got them for a decent price. Next is a game that I didn't review, but it's a game I reviewed the Game Boy version of it. And that is The Little Mermaid for the NES. A game that I've been wanting to get for a really, really long time. Really nice copy too. Really long time, but I kept losing bids, or I just kind of like let it go, and I decided to get it. When my daughter saw this one, she wanted to play it, and we ended up playing it for a while. So my little daughter, she loves Ariel and the Little Mermaid. So yeah, definitely one. For the NES, this game is super fun. So definitely, yes. I'm glad I got it. Now, another game that had caught my eyes before in the past and I ended up getting is Thunderbirds for the NES. This one is a shooter that's based on a TV show from back in the days. I don't really remember the show, but yeah, it looks very decent. Yeah, So hoping to play this one and find out how it goes with that one. Now this one is interesting. Excuse me, guys. This one's interesting because, you know, I seldom buy these style of games, but this one caught my eye. And this one is Greg Norman's Golf Power for the NES. Yeah, and it has a battery backup, which is interesting. This is considered to be the last golf game that came out on the NES. I didn't know that until I bought the bit. I bought it for like $4. I got it really cheap. But I didn't realize it after I won it that it was the last NES golf game that they made. So, and one of the interesting things for the battery backup is that you can save your courses that you make. You can create your golf courses. I played it a little bit and it was pretty interesting. So, not bad. And then speaking of good interesting NES games, sorry. This one is good because I used to have it when I was a kid and I loved it. And that was Roller Games for the NES. This one is a brawler, kind of like Ninja Turtle style, arcade game style brawler, but you're in rollerblades. Very interesting, fun game. This one is one of those games that is climbing up in price. It's not expensive to own, but it's getting there. It used to be very cheap, and now it's getting a little bit more expensive, but I got it for a decent price. So, yeah, really cool game. I recommend this one. That one's fun. Another interesting game that I want to try to beat that I never did, and it's kind of like a joke that me and my friend have. That we used to play, and it's Time Lord for the NES. Not an expensive game at all. Not a bad one in my opinion, but basically an interesting game, which is another one that I really want to do a video on because it's interesting. But anyways, got that one. Now, going back to games that I got, this one, Dragon Slayer for the SNES. This one is interesting because I didn't own it back in the days, but I emulated it and played it and passed it. But it's a game I really want to give it another shot because it was fun. I like this one. Very different from the original Dragon Slayer, which you guys are about to see soon. Yeah, I just spoiled it, but a very different game. Maybe this one will be a nice little episode of Let's Compare. But yeah, cool game. Another game that I've been wanting to play for a long time, platform game for the Genesis is Bubble and Squeak. For the Genesis, this one's a 2D side-scrolling platformer. I played it a little bit. It was really fun. This is one that had caught my eye for a while now, and I've been trying to look for it out in the wild, but I had forgotten about it, and when I got it for a decent price. So yeah, another good one. And then, of course, another game that is almost expensive to own for the Sega Master System, Wonder Boy and Monster Land. Well, in the game it's called Super Wonder Boy Super Monster Land for the Sega Master System. Really cool game. And of course, as you guys know, when I did that first Let's Compare episode on Wonder Boy and Adventure Island, I'm definitely gonna carry on the sequels of these games. Now, for Wonder Boy, technically I own every single Wonder Boy game now. I can't say that about the NES, the Adventure Island ones. There's still a few missing, but for the most part, yeah, I'll go more into detail when I do the individual reviews, but a great game too as well. Took advantage of the when I bought during the Thanksgiving Cyber Monday sales, but this one didn't come until much later, and that's Super Bomberman R2 for the Switch. Really cool Bomberman game. I actually have part 1, Super Bomberman R, and I really enjoyed it. Haven't really played it because I left it to play another game right now, but I already beat level 1, and it's a really fun game. Classic Bomberman, can't go wrong with that. Now, when I mentioned about Dragon Slayer, I ended up getting the NES version of Dragon Slayer. Technically, very different to the SNES version of it. However, They consider this to be one of the worst NES games. You know, who knows? I need to play it because I never played it. I've seen gameplays of it a lot. But definitely a game that is kind of like higher up in price right now. But yeah. And of course, another game that I've been wanting to own for a long time. A Boy and His Blob for the NES. I've played it before. It's a very unique, interesting game. But it's a Boy and His Blob, Trouble in Blobolonia. Very interesting, cool game that I played it and I want to give it a shot. So yeah. Another game, I own the SNES version of it, but this is the NES version of it. And it's a game that is going kind of a little bit pricey now. The Incredible Crash Dummies for the NES. This one is by our favorite company, LJN. It's actually a platformer, you know, when I saw gameplays of it. And I ended up getting an okay price copy because of how it is. But it was all right, so got that one. Now I have to mention these two games because I really like one of them and I really don't like the other one. But if I have one, I have to get them both in a way. And that is Skater Die and Skater Die 2. Of course, I paid a little bit less than that. Skater Die is a very popular game from back in the days. Very common copy you can find anywhere. Skater Die 2 is almost the same. But what makes them different is that this one's more of a skating competition style gameplay. And this one's an action platformer game. Very different games. So definitely worth doing a future episode on these. Because this one's really good. Game Boy version of Skater Die is also very good, I gotta say. But anyways, that's a story for another day. Next game, another fun favorite of mine when I played it in the arcade. Very memorable game. Adventures of Dino Ricky for the NES. Got myself a cheap copy online. So decided to get this one because this is a game that fairly common out there, but it's a fun game. Now speaking of... Excuse me, guys. Speaking of another game that I got during the Cyber Monday or Black Friday deals, like Super Bomberman 2, is this other game, Mary Skelter 2 for the Switch. Now, the Mary Skelter Part 1 is actually a very these are dungeon crawlers games similar to like Wizardry and Swords and Serpents and all those type of games, I believe. But Part 1 actually came out in the Vita. My thing is that I really want to play the Vita version of it first. I don't own a copy, but I want to play before I play this one because I've heard that this game's pretty good. That the story is really decent. It's a dungeon crawling RPG game. So yeah, looking forward to this one. Does it have a book? I don't know. See, I like doing these things. Like, look, I don't think it has a manual or anything, but yeah. But anyways, it's a limited run, actually. Well, not limited run, but it's published by Limited Run. Not created by them. But anyways, the next set of games is a set of games that I've always been very curious about, that I've never played, that are very popular for the NES, and that's Ikari Warriors and Ikari Warriors 2 Victory Road. Now, the part 3 of the game is a little bit more expensive. This one was a bit more I don't know. They tend to go a little expensive. What does it say right there? 2-player, yeah. But I've never really played these. So these are interesting games that I've been wanting to play. So very similar in covers as the style, but not the drawing. But yeah, good copies. Now, speaking of games I've been wanting to play, here's a game that that I've always kind of like stepped away from in the past. Especially, it's an SNES game that's very popular. The GameCube game of this particular game is very different to the SNES one, but it's a game that I really like on the GameCube. And that is, but unfortunately, I don't own that one anymore. But the one that I'm talking about for the SNES is, of course, Star Fox. And this is a shooter, of course, for those of you who don't know. Very popular SNES game. I believe that this was one of the first games that brought out the Mode 7 FX chip out there, but got a very cheap copy of it. It's not that expensive out there. So yeah, and definitely want to play this one, because this one is one that I've always stayed away from for I don't know why. And recent gameplays that I've seen, they've caught my eye, so I'm like, definitely want to play it. Now, these two games I got as part of a deal, but I used to own them before, but I really liked them. Very memorable games of mine. One of my favorite games of all time, and that's The Addams Family for the Genesis and Pitfall: The Mayan Adventure for the Genesis. Really fun platformer for the Genesis. Has a hidden way that you can play the original Pitfall on it. And of course, The Addams Family for the Genesis is the same game as the Super Nintendo, but I really loved it. I love this game. This is one of my favorite games, The Addams Family. And of course, one of my favorite set of movies. You know, really like The Addams Family. Can't wait for the, speaking of The Addams Family, can't wait for the Wednesday series. I know that I don't know if it's coming out yet or not, or what's going on with that. So looking forward for that one. Anyways, great games, you know. And then finally, before I get on to the stuff that, the Christmas stuff, finally, this last game is a very special game. I know I mentioned in my channel before, there were 3 games that are very special for the Genesis. And those remind me, because it reminds me of this time of the year. Because these games, like in January, every year in January, like mid-January, we used to go to Mexico every year. And it's one of those games that bring me back to these times. And it's special because it's one of the fond memories that I remember during playing these games at my grandma's house in Mexico, when my grandma was doing well before she got ill and she passed away. And I know I mentioned it was Captain America and the Avengers. The other one is what's that? Rocket Knight Adventures. And then this one for the Genesis, Dick Tracy for the Genesis. But if you guys see, it says Mega Drive. Now, there's an interesting thing. See what you guys see? Tech Toy. So this is a Tech Toy game from Brazil. Got this one super cheap. Now, the person that was selling it said in the thing that they thought it was a reproduction. And no, when I received it, you know, I bought it thinking it was a reproduction. I didn't care less. I just wanted to own a copy because this game has now become a game expensive to own. And unfortunately, it used to be common back in the days when I was a kid, or when I was younger. And then all of a sudden it rose in popularity, and now it is an expensive game to own. However, he said it was in the things he sold it really cheap because he thought it was a reproduction. It's not a reproduction. I did a little bit of research, not a lot, but of course, you guys familiar with Tech Toy? Tech Toy was a company that continued the Sega brand in Brazil and continued making games for the Sega Master System, and also did games for the Genesis, and it had the official Sega licensing. So Sega gave permission for Tech Toy to make these games. So this is a Tech Toy variant of Dick Tracy. Now, when I went back to see how much this game cost, this game was going for a lot of, well, a complete copy goes for a lot of money. I don't know how much a loose copy will go. I don't know if it's cheap because it wasn't really out there. So I consider, and he even did say it was rare reproduction, but it's not a reproduction. So I wonder, yeah, I wonder if it's really expensive or what, you know, if I really struck it with this one, because I know I own another Tech Toy Sega Master System game. I own a Sega Master System game that's made by Tech Toy. It's one of those expensive ones that you see out there on eBay that go for over $100. At the time when I bought that one, and I'm not going to say the game because I am planning on reviewing that one because it's a really good game, but I bought it for stupid cheap and it was brand new at the time. So, but yeah, I don't know. But I could care less whether it's expensive or not. My thing is that it's a reminder of Mexico and when I used to go visit my my grandma and my grandparents in Mexico. And fortunately, my grandpa's still out there. He's still alive, you know. But my grandmother, well, she passed away about what, 10 years ago, right before my son was born. My son's about to be 10. So, yeah, about 10 years ago. Damn, it's already been a long time. But, you know, I remember that fondly when I was playing the first night I got to Mexico that one time. And my grandma was there and we all went to bed, but I wasn't tired from the flight. And I just I remember I had my games with I never owned a Genesis. I owned the Nomad, popped it on and started playing Dick Tracy and all those games. It was fun. But anyways, that's a story for another day. Sorry I rambled on. And then finally we get to Christmas gifts. Well, these next 3 games, which are the final games, they're actually my son's. My parents bought one game for my son, and the rest we got for my son. One of the games I got for my son, well, my girlfriend and I got for my son, was Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. You know, I've never played this particular version of Five Nights at Freddy's, but I'm really playing those Five Nights at Freddy games because we own that collection one for the Switch. We own that new one, Security Breach. I love that one, but my son, we still haven't gone around it. I'm like at the end of it, and then of course now we got that one. The next one is a game that I've never played, never owned, and I would like to say that I own almost every single one of these games. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe for the Switch. Now I got this one for my son because I know he really likes Kirby. This is one game I never played. This originally came out on the Wii. Never played that one, and so I told my girlfriend this will be a great game. Me and my son played the other Kirby games on the Switch that we really enjoyed. So this is another one that I feel like me and him are going to enjoy playing. And then finally, the creme of the crop, or how they say it, I can't even say it. But again, that my son was on his top of the wish list. And, you know, the feeling that I got when I saw my son get this game, and I was very... like, it's very happy. It's a happy feeling to see your kids. You know, my girlfriend and I were very happy when we saw his expression. Something that, you know, I'm getting to see when I was a kid, you know. That Super Mario Brothers Wonder for the Switch. Can't wait to play this one. This is one that my son, like, immediately really, really wants to play. So, can't wait to play this one with him. I'm looking forward to playing that game. And those are the games that I got for that we all got, because those are my son's games. But he's cool letting me show you guys those. He's like, show them, Dad. I should have had him in the episode, but I'll get him next time. But those are the games for the month of December. Now, items that I got. Let me begin with this. As you guys know, I'm a sucker for plug and plays. And I bought this one because I saw it for really cheap at the dollar at 99-cent store. Well, $7.99. And that's this retro microcontroller from my arcade plug and play. The games look interesting. That reminds me of Hang On. Let's see how that plays in tennis. But let me see how this is. And the reason why I say this is because my girlfriend has another one that she gave me that's very similar to it. It's the black one that looks like this. And I wonder if it's the same games. If it is, it's going to be kind of meh. But that's another thing I'm going to let you guys know as an update. I'm looking forward to doing a little episode. I have a bunch of plug and plays and a bunch of handheld ones. And I've mentioned that before. So I'm planning on doing that soon. But let's see how that goes on that one. The next thing I got, and this is really cool, got them at DD's for like $6 each. And of course, as you guys know, I'm a big wrestling fan. I got 2 AEW Tag Team Championship belts. Very nice little kids belts, you know. Got those. So there goes the these guys. Oh my god, I can't even think. Matt and what's his name from the Young Bucks? Yeah. God, I blanked out. But yeah, I got 2 of them. So I'm planning on giving one to my son and one for myself. Kind of like a tag team thing that we're gonna be doing, kind of like me and him. He has a WWE back in the days, the red one that Brock Lesnar used to have from Raw. He has that one. He has the white Intercontinental Championship belt. And now I'm gonna give him one of these, so that way we will be like, oh, we're tag teams, you know. Pretty cool thing. Just a thing that me and him have. The next thing I got, Transformers. Oh yes, I got 2 of them. I got Buzzsaw, the Transformers Legacy Buzzsaw. This one, yeah, and I got him for real cheap at DD's. I want to say I have a different version of them, but I don't think so. I kind of looked up my guide of the ones that I own, the Transformers I own. But I don't think I own that one, but cool. And then this is another one that I thought I owned the original G1 version of them, but it's Autobot Skids. But I don't own Skids either. I thought I did, but I own Skids as a the 2016 version IDW ones that came out back in the days. But not the original one. He looks really cool. So he has that little gimmick. So yeah. Yep, there it is. And then finally, gifts that I got for Christmas. Now, of course, you know, typically I get video games. I get things like that. But look at all the stuff I got in video games, which is good. And I got some really neat, cool things from my family. And you know, that's awesome. I love them when I got them. First things first is I got a Braun Strowman figure that my girlfriend got me. Yep, Braun Strowman, you know. My son gave me Bray Wyatt, and I think I have Luke Harper, rest in peace. You know, and now I need Eric Rowan, and then I have the Wyatt family. That would be cool to have them. But Braun Strowman, this one looks pretty badass. This is the Braun Strowman from after the Wyatt family when he was doing his own thing for sure. So yeah, really like it, man. You know what? I'll put you over here, Braun, right there. Yeah, he's no longer with WWE right now, but or I don't know, the talks about him. He's ripped right now. If I seen pictures of him, he's really built. So hopefully we see a return of him. Really interesting wrestler. The next thing is I got I love Guardians of the Galaxy. Got a Star-Lord keychain from Pocket Funko Pop. Really, really cool. Really, really like this one. What does it say? Oh, yep. I'm planning on taking this bad boy to my job. I had displayed some stuff at my office, so that'd be cool. The next thing, another thing I'm going to be taking, because I really like Bob Ross, is this Bob Ross by the Numbers, which is a little painting kit. If you see right there, it comes with the paints and 3 Bob Ross pictures. And they're like numbered, so you can paint them a certain color. You know, it has a fold-out sheet that tells you the instructions, you know, and painting tips. So definitely really cool. Really like Bob Ross. Let me put you over here right now. And then these two, man, oh man. I'm not a big Funko Pop collector. I collect a few. I own a few. And maybe I should do a video of my Funko Pop collections that I have thus far. But when I saw these, I went crazy. I was like, you know, I know my family probably say, no, he didn't. Because I had a blank expression when I got the items. But that was because I was giving gifts to the kids and everything. But really, really do love these. And the first one I got is the Indiana Jones Hot Topic exclusive. Really cool. And this is Old Indy from the movie, from the new movie. It's a bobblehead. Yeah, is that Indiana Jones when he's old already, or is he the retro? Yeah, it's the classic Indiana Jones. This is cool because my girlfriend thought she was the Indiana Jones from the new movie. I haven't finished watching that one, by the way. It's a great movie so far, but No, it's not. It's actually Indiana Jones from the original Raiders of the Lost Ark. Because it has, is it from the, yeah, because these are the original characters from part 1. No, they're not. Nor is it from The Last Crusade. It's a mix, I think. But anyways, really cool. Really, I'm loving this one. And then I'll put him, I don't want to cover Mokona. And then finally, this one is one that I love. I love this one. And my girlfriend said that she had to put she had to wait for this one. And definitely, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. The Hamburglar. Oh, don't get jealous. Yup, the Hamburglar. Yeah, the little mini Hamburglar there is probably like thinking I'm going to replace him with this one. Love it. Love it. I love McDonald's stuff, like figurines and things like that. And of course, Burger King. Don't get jealous too, guy. You know what? You're going to get mad? You're going to get mad? Nah, but yeah, really like this one. Thank you to my family, my girlfriend, and my kids. How can I put this one? Oy, let me see. California Racing. Ooh, okay, because I got all the games up here. Well, how about we do this? Well, can I put it on top? Oh, there we go. Right there at the corner. And then right there. And then finally, now, this one, my girlfriend gave me these. It's funny because my girlfriend had them for a long time. My girlfriend has her own business. That's what she runs, her own business. And she likes to get items and things like that. She sells items and things like that. But one set of items that I saw that she got one day were these 2 plush figurines, these 2 plushies that I really wanted. And she told me she was gonna let me have them, but at the end, you know, I never saw them, never asked for them, and I said, okay. In my head, I was like, maybe she's gonna sell them. You know, I'm not gonna bug her for it. It's her stuff. You know, she might want to get rid of them, but no. She surprised me. It's Doug and Patty Mayonnaise. Ooh, holding hands. Love Doug. This is like from back in the days when I was a young kid. Really like the cartoon. Really like Patty, Doug. My name with the characters, I forget the dog that he owned. And of course that green guy that's kind of like the bully. His friend. So yes. Look. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Got these guys. So thank you to my girlfriend. Thank you to my kids for all these wonderful items. Really love them. And what can I say? This is my December 2023 haul. The last haul of the year. The last video of the year. And one more thing to give you guys updates. So now, of course, next week after this video, we start the new year. The very first video is going to be my recap of games that I beat during 2023. I do this for you guys that are new to my channel. I do these videos every year. I've been doing them for the last 2 or 3 years. I can't remember. I know I've done the last 2 years where I recap games that I beat, got the monkey off my back, games that I enjoyed that were very memorable for the year. Usually, typically in these videos, sometimes those games I will not review, like I review games in depth like I do, or do gameplay footages. I just talk about them, or I may do videos, or even there are games that I did make videos of that I beat during the year that I want to just let you guys know I really enjoyed them for this year. This year was very interesting because I feel like you know, it was an interesting year. I'm not going to go into more details. I don't want to spoil it because I'll do it for the video. The other thing is there's more games too expensive to own. Other great videos that I got lined up coming up soon. As well, of course, I'm doing my series of Let's Compare. There are a couple of games I do want to compare that are really want to put out there and showcase. That also helps me review games. Now, one of the things, I don't know if you guys have been noticing that I've been grabbing a lot of NES games. My collection has gone deeper now. This year was a year that I freaking went crazy with games. Not only that, I bought a lot of games that were expensive to own, that I actually got for a decent price. I don't know if game prices have been going down recently for the last couple of months, because I've been able to get a lot of good games for decent prices. But it was a year that I built up my collection tenfold, big time, with good games. Games that were expensive, that I lost during those years, and I regained again. Perfect example, Alex Kidd in Shinobi World. Even though that's a PAL game, it's a game that Sega, I really don't care whether they're PAL or not. That's one of the consoles that I don't really care. Those games are very it's a system that's very nostalgic in my opinion. But anyways, got a lot of great reviews that are going to be coming up in the near future, and of course my series, and of course I want to do videos on those on these little handheld consoles. I own a ton of plug and plays, and I barely have played them over the years. They're just collecting dust. And not only that, also those miniature the miniature handheld consoles that are also plug-and-play consoles. I talked about it a couple of months back that I bought a few ones to show you guys which ones are the better buy if you see them out there. But yeah, a lot of great stuff. You know, I can't stop being grateful with everything that I got and everything that I get. And one major thing, as the last video of the year of 2023, I want to thank all my subscribers. I want to thank all of you guys for taking the time to watch my channel, taking the time to comment, say, you know, comments in the comments below, watching my plays and everything. I truly appreciate you guys. You know, I also reached my goal of 200 plus subscribers, you know, which is great, you know, and I couldn't be more grateful and thankful for all of you guys. And again, I hope you guys had a great holiday vacation. If you guys had it, great holiday time with your loved ones, with your family. Aside from all of this stuff, you know, it's the family thing that is what it's all about, with friends. You know, of course, you know, it's great to get these things, but you know, it's the family thing that counts, with your kids, your family, your relatives. Hope you guys enjoyed your holidays. Hope you guys enjoy your new year, because when I do the next video, it's going to be after the new year. So I will see you guys next year. You guys take care. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Eric, the one and only Bay Area Collector. You guys take care. Peace out.